Isn't it about time that you design something new to marvel at in your life? I mean it. No hyperbole here. In fact, remember the scene in the popular movie Eat, Pray, Love, where Julia Roberts, who played the role of Liz Gilbert, the author, she says in her very heated discontent, I want to go someplace where I can marvel at something. She said it pretty seriously because she was looking for, right, a huge life change. She was done. So this special life design training that I'm giving you today is specifically for what I call the modern evolving woman in her 40s to 70s. So let's get started. All right, I'm going to bring up my PowerPoint and off we go. So how good will you allow your life to get? And the key word is allow. I want you to think about what could possibly be preventing you from living the life that you can marvel at. And I'm finding that being on the front lines with high achievers over the last 3 years, coming out of the pandemic, I'm a coach and a mentor, and especially this year, people are trying to find their footing, right? That new normal and make changes. Is that you? Our quality of life was temporarily taken from us. And prayers to you if you lost a friend or relative during that overwhelming time. And the point is, we're on the other side of the pandemic, and life will never be the same. That can be a good thing as long as you can see the gift in the challenge. So from one of my favorite books, Design Your Next Chapter by Debbie Travis, she writes about the same life strategy that I coach and that I talk about on my podcast, Follow Your Joy. She writes, the path to happiness is to discover the joy in something you love to do, something that touches hidden potential inside you that may have faded over the years. The opposite of depressed is not being happy. It's feeling vital. Vitality is what fades as life throws its curves to us. And vitality is what we crave. Being happy all the time is unrealistic, but we certainly can strive to bring vitality back into our lives. I guarantee that the new adventure outside your comfort zone will reignite your joy in living. Amen. Right? So even when the health issue comes knocking at your door, or the relationship needs mending or changed completely, or how about the career or business needs an overhaul or a reset, or the revenues need a boost, or the self-care needs a lot more attention, or how about the family needs an intervention of support and new ideas, and maybe the body, right, needs better nutrition and exercise. And how about your spirituality? Is it calling you out to pay more attention to the support that you have 24/7? In other words, allowing your higher power to have a voice in your life. All that to say is we can pull ourselves up by the bootstraps with dignity and hope and bring about change in our lives, aiming for more vitality and joy, right? So hi, I am Marla Diane. I'm an international success coach and a business strategist for creative entrepreneurs and a life designer, right, for the modern evolving woman who craves a new expression of herself and a new life chapter. I'm celebrating 15 years in coaching this year. And prior to that, I had a very dynamic, it was a ton of fun, 22-year career working with celebrities and visual and performing artists as a publicist for various PR firms and then in my own PR company. My artistry is writing, visual arts, human potential, and entrepreneurship. And I monetized my degree in journalism PR into that 22-year career And 13 of those years, I ran my own company, right, PR company, out of my home as I raised my now 32-year-old son, who's a successful real estate investor. I have 22 years of living a metaphysical life and being a serious student of universal law, law of attraction, metaphysics, and intuition. I'm a certified coach in money relationship, and that is transforming that through 2 programs of my former business coach who teaches money empowerment for women. And I've invested thousands of dollars in myself and my business with personal development and business coaches, and I never go without a coach. And I come from a family of creatives. Creativity is my life. You know, in my family, we've got screenwriters, actors, musicians, filmmakers, theater directors, costume designers, chefs, authors. As you can see, definitely creativity is my life. And how all this comes together for me is I integrate personal development, spiritual mentorship, customized business guidance, and financial coaching to result in a path to a thriving, profitable life and or business. And I personally have been through my own 3 reinventions over the last 25 years and the guidance of hundreds of brilliant professionals to their transformations that set the tone for being passionate about life design. In fact, one profound reinvention in 2017 turned my life and business around when I hit the wall after 9 years in coaching, and I could not do one more day the way I was doing it. It was literally felt like this manufactured version of myself. I loved the coaching, but it was how I was running my business. So I sought help from my coach to recover my dreams and learn how to make money with joy instead of this constant push and struggle and hustle and grind. Right? I really felt numb and I didn't know what to do. So after a long 5-hour in-depth session with my coach, I came away with a year life makeover plan that started with flying to Rome, Italy, when it was 45 days later after that session, for a month-long stay in beautiful Florence, Italy. See, what she did is she pulled out of me my 20-year dream to work and live in the United States and Italy, the laptop lifestyle. I was neglecting it for all sorts of excuses that I told myself. That month in beautiful Florence, living like an Italian changed everything from the inside out. Coming home, I re-engineered my business, changed my brand and my personal life. And I've been to Italy 3 times in the last 6 years and love every minute of it. And I use all the lessons I learned and continue to learn to mentor you. In fact, I recently went through another small reinvention where I added Tuscany day wine tours to my lifestyle mentoring business because it aligns with all things Italian that I love and my theme, an American girl with an Italian soul. So if you go to, there's that link and I'll put it down in the description. You can inquire about booking these private tours, right? And it's an amazing experience. And you can get all the details right on that page. So go ahead and use the link below. And for the sake of time, I'm going to hold off on sharing some client stories that you're welcome, right, to either ask, in comments below or go to my website, marladiane.com, and under the results tab, you'll find dozens and dozens of stories to read about the lives that I help transform. So, all right, you're the modern evolving woman, and I find that you're beautifully complex with a sensibility and a no drama approach to life. You have a spiritual component to your daily life that keeps you grounded and wise and humble, knowing you're not alone on this journey. That's the modern evolving woman. but something stirring. I call it divine discontent. I've been there many times. My soul was craving my attention to change things up. What's your soul craving to change? And a next chapter, maybe? You're ready for change, right? Something's been intuitively nudging you for months and maybe even possibly in the recent years, like me, and I didn't do anything about it. But you've been telling yourself you're too busy to make the time to explore it. You know, you're ready to dismantle, right, what was, so that you can create what is to be your next chapter. Could be a 2 millimeter shift, and a profound one at that, or even a life makeover like what I did. Right? Either way, you want to be reignited, right, with a new joy and new vitality and new meaning. And it comes from acknowledging your desires and taking inspired action rather than allowing them to remain on your wish list. And you're at a point that you're no longer interested in the approval of others. I love that one. And you want to live by your own validation from within. You no longer seek answers from out there. So how about if we get you started with my 5 steps to begin your next chapter? All right, take some notes, and here we go. So number 1, do a gut check, as in your intuition, and assess your situation. Because this is my true belief. It's how I operate. It's how I coach women to operate. And that is, intuition is your first place to receive answers for your inquiries, right? Then you use your brain, as in your logic and your practicality, to add feet to the actions. So I encourage you to refrain from the habit of using logic and practicality first when you're looking for some answers about your life. Okay? Because our wisdom is in our hearts, in our intuition. Okay? And if you need help with assessing your situation and obviously your intuition and up-leveling your intuition, that's part of my specialty. So assess what brings you joy and lights you up and what does not. Like my 2017 story that I shared with you, I hit burnout and listened to my intuition for the next steps. And it was hiring my coach to get clarity, and I could not see the forest through the trees. Okay, number 2, I call it clear the decks. Make a tolerations list for personal and your career or business. And essentially eliminate the tolerations. So ask yourself, what are you tolerating, right, in your everyday life? Think about health, career, spirituality, fitness, personal development, community, giving back, and financial, of course. Where have you settled and not given voice to changing it? Begin to remove these off your list after you find solutions. Right? And yes, it may be some people that need to be, if you will, eliminated off your list. But what I call it is just love them from a distance, right? Because sometimes it has to do with family members. All right. So I'm talking about business here. So as far as clearing the decks, are you in what is called excellence burnout? Meaning I coach in depth how to identify and then live and work more often in your zone of genius, which is your highest form of creativity, which comes most natural to you, what brings you the most joy, and it's always your highest paid talents with joy. And the majority of hardworking high achievers are in typically excellence burnout, which is why I love coaching them. Known for, when you're in your excellent zone, you're known for what you do, right? You've built a brand around it, but you're burnt out, you're trapped, right? If truth really was to be told, if you really got honest with yourself, is that your excellent zone, as good as you are at it, you might be kind of bored, right? And you're looking for that higher level. That's the zone of genius, right? What could you be craving, right? That's in that zone of genius where you bring the iconic ideas and actions into your life. And here's some symptoms of excellence burnout. Feeling resentful of your schedule, or a little freedom in your business or your career. Maybe feeling you've been sabotaging it, right? If you're at that stage and too long. So discontent means that you need to feed your creativity. In other words, if you're in discontent, and that happens a lot, this is a good thing, pay attention to it, is that it's telling that you need to feed your creativity, meaning we're meant to create, right? As human beings, we're meant to create. Because when we stop doing that, there's structures and systems and hustle and grind too often and have not created something new, right? For us personally or in business, we go right into discontent. And that was me in 2006 and in 2017. All right, number 3, define what I call your fulfillment metrics. What results tell you, right, that you are fulfilled and successful? So take a look at, what do you measure as successful, right? What tells you you're successful and fulfilled? So be truthful in this. In other words, do you really need 100 likes on your Instagram or Facebook page to feel validated? Is social media a metric that you live by? Or is your non-negotiable self-care Fridays a mental and emotional reprieve one of your fulfillment metrics? Or is filling a room with hundreds of people to see your presentation, right, an important metric of success? Or is a room filled with about 30 eager, interested, ready to learn, ideal professionals a metric of fulfillment for you? So think about what metrics you're living by and what truly tells you that you are fulfilled. What conditions, think about this, is what conditions must be present for you to feel fulfilled? Here's a real popular one. Is money a success metric where your self-worth equals your net worth? Don't get me wrong, money is a blessing and fabulous, and I'm a money coach. But are you defining your self-worth by your net worth? So be careful. Here's the issue with that, is burnout and a false metric. You can end up running a race in which there's no finish line. In other words, what's enough money? Right? That's a common issue with humankind, kind of a not enough syndrome that can lead to feeling unsatisfied with our life despite our many accomplishments and how much money we have earned, right? So there's a good book that I was introduced to that addresses this. It's called Money Zen, The Secret to Finding Your Enough. And I'll put that down in the show notes or the description. Yes, it addresses this specifically about what is enough, right? When we make plenty of income, let's say, where do you fulfill that metric? Okay, number 4, from your intuitive guidance, listen and allow ideas to come over a period of time, meaning don't demand answers about your change immediately and expect to take action. Instead, it's maybe new, lean back. Allow ideas and inspiration to come and write them down, either on a flip chart, that's what I do, so I can see it every day while I'm working, right? Or in a journal, so it's like an idea board. Either way, write what I call these divine downloads as they come to you, but don't demand anything. Just have a feeling, have a vision, potentially, of what it might look like for you. Or you ask, you don't know what the next step is, and allow it to come. And what will happen is over a few weeks' time, you'll begin to see the bigger picture and a theme on that, flip chart, that idea board, or in your journal. So it's quite the opposite of let's get it done, let's sit down, let's figure out the steps, let's, go, go, go. I'm asking you to do the opposite. Lean back, be in receiving mode, right, and allow the answers to come from your intuition. Okay. All right. And the last one, number 5, is begin a plan of action from steps 1 through 4, but commit to steps 1 through 4 before you take any action, right? Give it time to percolate and take shape. Okay, Alice? All right. So where do you feel the need or craving of a life or career makeover? Is it a slight, again, 2 millimeter shift, right, in any one area? Or is it a reinvention to recover your dreams and desires? I think it kind of was for me, and it was for Liz Gilbert in Eat, Pray, Love. So I want to give you a caveat around coaching, and that is coaching is not designed to be convenient. Okay, it's meant to facilitate important change in your life that needs attention now, not later. So here's my offer to you, and we'll be done, is an intro call, and this is complimentary. It's an intro call, 30 minutes, to explore what did come up for you during this video and what's asking to be paid attention to. Right? So to schedule that, you go to, and I'll put again the links down in the description below, is marladiane.com/life design, and you fill out, there's about, I think 3 or 4 questions, and we'll get back to you. Right, we'll go ahead and schedule that call. And please be my guest to download my free success book list at that link. And then, of course, there's Tuscany Day tours. And do please join me in my podcast. I'm on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Google, and YouTube. Right? Follow your joy. And it is so inspiring. They're entrepreneurial stories of struggle to success due to men and women, right, listening to their intuition and taking action from that guidance by following also their joy, and they created a very fulfilling result. The stories you're going to hear on those episodes are definitely going to, right, light you up. I'm always so grateful to be giving those stories, right, to the public. So there you have it. I appreciate, your time, and please go ahead and stop this. So go ahead and let's talk, right? Go ahead and fill out that form. Let's have a chat. Let's start to pay attention, or I should say, let me help you start to pay attention to what truly needs, right, your nurturing. Look, my biggest dream, I waited 20 years to finally do something about it. Don't wait 20 years, right? All right, everyone. You take care, and I will hopefully see you on the other side. Bye-bye.